let's go back to the Skype machine and say hello to Mackenzie Dern. There she is. Mackenzie, how are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm good.
Thank you so much for joining us. You're still in Brazil, right?
Yeah, I'm here in Brazil.
I know this was a big deal for you. I know it was somewhat of a dream to fight in your, in your father's home country. You're Brazilian. How great was it? Did it live up to your expectations?
Yeah, it was even better than my expectations. I think everything that happened made it that much better. So, was just really a dream come true to fight here and be able to get the victory too.
Okay, so could you explain to us? Of course, let's talk about before the fight. We know what happened at the weigh-ins, 7 pounds over. When did you start to fear that this was going to be a problem?
I started to get nervous on Thursday night. Thursday night, I talked to like my manager, and in Vegas, I had like a kind of close weight cut, but in Vegas, I was 100% like positive I was gonna make the weight, even though I was like the last one to weigh in. But in Brazil, I told my manager on Thursday, like, look, this isn't like Vegas. In Vegas, I told you the whole time that I'm positive. Now on Thursday night, we were doing the sauna, and the weight wasn't. I was doing like a lot of hours in the sauna, and I was just losing like 500 grams, 600 grams, for every like 2 hours. So I started to tell him, like, man, I'm getting nervous. Like, I don't think I'm gonna lose this many kilos in less than 24 hours. So we started to say, like, okay, let's see. I did like a massage, a drainage massage. We did everything we could to see like how I would wake up the next morning, Friday morning, if I would lose like a kilo sleeping, and then have just 2 more kilos left. So we decided to wait till Friday morning to see. I woke up like 5:30. We went to the sauna 6 a.m. Did everything again for like 2 hours, and the weight wasn't coming off. I was like sweating, and then I go to weigh on the scale, and nothing come off. Just like 600 grams and stuff. So the commission came and stopped, and basically like if they let me, they said like if you keep going, then we really have no chance to have a fight because you won't be able to move, you'll be like disabled, So if we want any chance to have like maybe a catch weight or something, you have to stop now because they had like, it was 9 o'clock already when they made the decision. So
you said the commission made that decision. Was the UFC involved in any of this? The UFC, their doctors?
Yeah. The UFC doctors were there. They went to the sauna there. They like met me there and everything. They're the ones who made the decision. It wasn't like me who said to stop. I went to the bathroom to check my weight, and when I came back, my coaches and everything, they put me on the chair. They put me on the chair to sit down, and they started to give me some ice. And I was like, why? No, don't give me a drink. Like, no, I need to cut weight. Like I'm trying to get it up. Don't give me water, And they said, no, drink. And I didn't understand why,
How tough
but
was
this? But they had already like talked with them themselves.
Okay. You've had obviously some history with this. How tough was this one? Like the strain on your body, how were you feeling? Were you worried that this was going really bad, that your body wasn't reacting well?
I felt my body not reacting well. The last one, I was kind of like, the other times that I didn't make it was more like my head. Like I started to kind of trip out a little bit, no, like a lot. My body was shutting down. This one, I felt like my mind was right, but like I felt like I was conscious with everything. But I remember starting to tell like my coaches, like, man, it's hard for me to stand up. I started to feel my legs, and I felt like, man, it's hard for me to stand up every time. And then I went to the sauna 2 more times, and then I couldn't stand up anymore. Came out of like the water out of my legs, or I don't know, the muscles of my legs were starting to like not respond. So it was more my body wise, and they were scared that I wouldn't be able to fight,
I read some reports that you missed your flight to Rio, and that kind of delayed things for you. Is that true?
Yeah, I missed my flight to Rio. I don't want to say like it's the reason why, because I can give like tons of excuses, why this didn't happen. I think like the biggest reason is because like the diet from a lot of weeks ago. But I know for sure like a lot of things that happened during the whole camp. I missed my fight, so I knew coming to Brazil like I would retain water, I would hold water and everything. But I was kind of like counting one extra day. But even when I arrived in Brazil, I wasn't scared. You know, I was heavy, but in the commission told me that they didn't want to let me fight. As soon as I came in Brazil, they wanted to pull me out on Tuesday when I arrived. But I said, like, no, it's okay. Like, I just flew 14 hours drinking, like, gallons of water. I didn't do any exercise. Of course, I'm going to be heavy. So they made me, like, make a weight the next day on Wednesday. So I kind of dehydrated 1 day, or like 2 days early to show I made a weight before. And when I made that weight on Wednesday, they let me continue to keep cutting, you know. So it was a little bit crazy, the weight cut, because I kind of had to do, like, a pre-hydration to show I could make a weight on Wednesday.
Wow. Could you tell us how much you weighed when you arrived and how much you weighed on Wednesday after that pre-cut?
Yeah, I arrived at 139 pounds and a half. And then on Wednesday, I was 131.4.
So 139 on Tuesday, is that typical for you to be, what would that be, 23 pounds over?
No, not typical. I mean, not that it's a typical, you know, but I would like to get at the week of the fight, like 120.
Yeah.
You know, there's not like typical, but honestly, when I got there on Tuesday, I wasn't scared yet. I wasn't nervous or anything. I thought, like, man, I was on the plane and everything, and I was drinking. So I on Tuesday when I arrived, like, I thought, like, man, it's one less day, but for me, it was possible, you know.
Okay. Did you work with a nutritionist in this camp?
No, I didn't use a nutritionist. I have friends in Brazil, and we got one nutritionist that I know, and I talked with him as soon as I arrived in Brazil, and I started to ask him, like, okay, this is the weight here. This is where I'm at. This is what I'm doing. What hotel? What sauna? It's a wet sauna, not a dry sauna. All these things. I let him know everything I ate. And, you know, we worked like the week of the fight, but it's kind of hard, you know, for him, you know, he wasn't someone who I was working with for 6-8 weeks. You know, he's a nutritionist that I know, and to try to help me on the week of, just like in Vegas too. I did with the nutritionist of the UFC.
For your next fight, will you work with a nutritionist from start to finish? Will you hire one of these famous nutritionists to help you?
I won't. Like, not just for the next fight. As soon as this happened on Friday, you know, already talked with the UFC. I'm gonna go to Vegas. I'm gonna work with the institute. Starting now, you know. So I'm not even thinking of when my next fight is, but I'm gonna go there and get all the tests done, and gonna work with the UFC starting now. So I'm not gonna wait for the next fight to do this. You know, I was a little bit like, not against it, but kind of nervous to work with them and everything. But I'm everything, the organization and everything I saw here in Brazil, how they were trying to help me. I'm so ready, like, to take their help and take everything that they're willing to invest in me, and use, like, all the exams they want to do, all the stuff to get me. So as soon as I get back to the U.S., we're already planning for me to go to the institute in Vegas and work with all the nutritionists, all the physical strength training and everything, and take the help that the UFC is going to give me.
Are you surprised Amanda accepted the fight?
No, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. You know, she got 30% of the purse, you know, which was like my penalty. Usually it's like 20%, but because I was so much heavier, it goes up to 30%. And, you know, I think she was confident in the fight. You know, I think she thought she was gonna win and everything. So if I was confident in the fight and I'm getting 30%, and we're giving 15% extra too. You know, if I was to win, that we close 15% extra too. So I would accept the fight too. So I wasn't surprised. I know she wanted to fight and everything. So I don't know if she knows, you know, but I wasn't surprised she accepted the fight. I imagine she would accept. I was hoping she would. I was really, like, grateful that she accepted the fight.
So just to be clear, you're giving her 45%? You're giving her 30 plus 15?
Yes, 30% of my show money, which is like commission, you know, like the UFC, I think, or like that everyone has to do if they miss a weight, and then between us together, like just between the fighters, we did a negotiation to have the fight happen 15% if I would win of my purse. So
is it 15% of your entire purse or 15% of your win bonus?
I think it's 15% of my win bonus.
Okay.
Because I would just give 50% if I win.
Okay. Are you comfortable saying how much you're actually paying her now? Like, what does this all equal out to?
Yeah, you would have to ask my manager because I don't know. I think I'm 29 for this fight. So I missed that day in school math. So 30% of the 29 and 15% of the other one.
Okay, I'll do that math. I'm just wondering, what was it like on social media for you? Did you read any of the stuff? Obviously, you know, a lot of people are critical and want to take shots and things like that and want to weigh in. Did you read that stuff? And if so, how has it been?
Yeah, as soon as it happened, I didn't read it, you know, especially because like before I posted a thing with the scale, you know, with a sponsor.
Yeah.
And with the scale, you know, I knew it would be so much a backlash about that and people would criticize that. But at the same time, I know no one knows everything. They don't know what happened with me, and I'm not a person to like say, you know, come up with excuses, you know. There's no excuse, you know. People, I could say lots of things, but there's no excuse, like it's wrong, what happened. So I try not to, before my fight, I try not to read any of it. After now that I'm starting to, I'll go and I'm kind of ready. I already celebrated with my family, the people close to me. So now it's time for me like to talk to people and explain a little bit, you know, what happened. Because at the same time, I understand it's not like really fair to just ignore the subject, you know. That's not my plan at all. Just I want to let the things calm down a little bit. So now I'm starting to like read a little bit, but you know, it's almost kind of like crazy, you know. I see some people like putting hamburgers in my hands, like on memes. I want to take serious, and I'm trying to show like it's not gonna happen again. But some of like the memes and stuff, like I have to laugh, you know, because it's kind of like crazy. You know?
And then the fight itself couldn't have gone better. You dropped her, and then obviously you submitted her very quickly on the ground. Is that how you expected it to go? Did you expect it to be that quick?
I was hoping to. I was telling everyone I was going. I knew I didn't want to stay standing up on this fight. I really wanted to take the fight to the ground and submit fast, especially being in Brazil and represent jiu-jitsu. We were training on my camp. We were training like the overhand, right? You know, a lot. But I didn't know that I would take her down by a punch. You know, I was training a lot of my wrestling because everyone said my last fight, my wrestling was bad. So I was willing to try to do my wrestling. But I was surprised when she fell down with the punch.
Obviously, watching
because we were training, but I didn't
know. Could you objectively feel that you were much stronger and bigger than her in there?
No, because as soon as I arrived, the UFC weighed us in, and I was 138 and she was 134 or 135. So as soon as that happened, I felt like, man, so she's almost my weight. You know, I didn't feel like, you know, I didn't feel my punches. Like I felt my right hand was strong, you know, the times I hit her, but I didn't feel like, oh, I'm so much heavier or something, you know. I wasn't thinking about the weight honestly anymore. Just as soon as I arrived, they weighed us in. I saw like my weight and her weight, you know. So I said like, okay, at least we're kind of a little bit similar now.
They weighed you at the arena.
That right or wrong, of course.
On fight night, they weighed you at the arena.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Any chance you'd go up to flyweight?
Because.
Oh, go ahead, please.
No, because now the commission, they talked to me and said that they're going to start to do, the next day you can only recover 10% of your weight, you know?
Okay.
So, you can see me?
I can't see you. Maybe you're getting a call right now. Is that what's happening?
I can see
you're back. Yes.
Okay. So they're going to start to do that the next day you can only recover like 10% of your weight, that, you know, your weight back of your body weight. So that's what they said, that they were weighing us now before and after the next day. So they talked to me a little bit, but I think they're going to make me make 115 pounds, even outside of fights, even if I don't have a fight. So they're going to do everything they can to help me get on track for that weight.
So you're not going up to flyweight. You're staying at strawweight.
Yeah, I want to stay at strawweight. Hopefully with the help of the UFC and everyone at the institute, it will be a lot easier and we'll be all under control. If
And
they
could
tell
I?
me like, no, it's not good for you to fight at 115, I'll go to 125. But I made 115 before a lot, like 3 times, so I think it's a better weight for me.
I know the Brazilian Commission in the past has suggested that people move up, like Prazeres recently. Are they doing the same with you? Are they telling you to move up? Are they putting that kind of pressure on you?
No, no, no. No one
Okay.
said anything about that. They definitely don't want me to miss again.
Yeah. Can you guarantee right now that you'll never miss again? Is that a fair thing to ask of you, or is that impossible?
No, I can guarantee.
You can guarantee you'll never miss weight again.
Yes.
All right.
Pinky promise.
All right, there it is. Pinky promise. You can't break that. My kids and I are stick to that very much. So you can't go back on that. And could I ask you? This is the first time that we talked to you in a while. Could you explain from your perspective what happened with the lab? Why were you invited to leave, as it was put?
I don't know. I don't know, honestly. From what I know, from what I talked to John Crouch, I received like a message on my email and text message and WhatsApp all on the same day. When I was in California, I arrived back in the US, in Arizona like 2 weeks after my fight. And I had just confirmed my fight with Amanda Cooper, so I was going to go back to training. And I received a message just saying that like consistency and like for part of the team, like as a team member and everything, that he thought it was better I wasn't on the team anymore. And so I called him and asked like if we could meet personally because it was a surprise for me. And we met like 1 week later because he was with Ben Henderson in Budapest. And when we talked in person with just me and him and my manager, he just said that I was spending like 3 days in California and 4 days in Arizona. That's how I was doing my camps. And he wanted me to be, he said he wished I was back in the academy the next week after my fight. And that he thought he wanted me to stay more days in Arizona. So from what I understood, that's kind of like why he didn't want me on the team anymore, because he wanted me more days at the lab instead of back and forth, I think.
Are you hoping to fix this, or?
But I think it's better to ask him.
Okay, but have you moved on, or are you hoping to go back? Do you want to go back?
No, I'm so grateful for everything that he like to be with them all the way until the belt. For sure, I'm taking everything that they taught me, all the work ethic, everything that they taught me as a fighter, as a person, with me. But I'm already on to the new phase. I think this new phase was something I didn't ask for, but it happened for a reason, and I'm liking it, So I don't have any plans to go back. For sure, I'm cheering for everyone there: Corinne Casey, Ben, Jakar, all the guys. I love all of them, Lauren Murphy, but now I'm on a new phase.
Yeah, your head coach now, is it Vieira? Is that your head coach?
Yeah, Leo Vieira with Checkmat, and Juan Gomez. He's my stand-up coach. He trains at Black House.
Do you know when you want to return, or not yet?
To the US?
Oh no, to fight again. Like I know you were very set on fighting on this card. Do you have another card now in mind?
No.
Okay.
Now I want to get my weight and everything, and I want to evolve more. I know a lot of people thought I didn't evolve so much because it was so close to my last fight. But I feel like just in a couple weeks, I evolved a lot. So imagine if I can dedicate like 2 months just training and just focusing on evolving. I think people are going to see a huge difference. So that's my plan right now.
Was your dad in attendance on Saturday? Was he at the arena?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
what was that like?
There. He was so excited. Oh, it was great. I wish I could see his face while I was fighting,
Yeah.
But he was so happy. He came down after and hung with the fighters and everything. He was really happy.
Congratulations, Mackenzie. I know this was a tough weekend for you. A lot of emotions, but I appreciate you coming on always to clear the air and say your side of the story. So respect to you on that. Again, congrats on the win. Enjoy the win. Enjoy being back home. And looking forward to the next one. And we will remember your guarantee. We will. We have it on tape right now, so we will remember that.
Thank you, promise. Yes, thank you, Ariel. Thank you so much. Always great to talk to you.